Hey, I'm back. I'm here to make another video. So, God bless our country. God bless all of our constitutional rights. And God bless the opportunity to have individual liberties to the point where we could be independent thinkers and not have to succumb to, the mob mentality, so to speak. So, here's the thing with George Floyd and David Dorn, and it blows my mind. I gave it a little bit of time for the mainstream media, fake news, whatever you want to call them, to see if they would memorialize David Dorn. David Dorn was basically a man in law enforcement. He was retired, and he was attacked and he was killed. Trying to fend off the rioters and the looters, trying to, I think, defend a pawn shop or something like that. So here's something I noticed. George Floyd, he, in my opinion, was not no perfect angel, saint, or whatever, as it seems the global community and the mainstream media, fake news, whatever, want to depict them as. And that's fine, because, you have the freedom and the liberty, to choose which life you want to live. So, George Floyd, he had a lot of, underground connections, and, he did have a criminal history. And here's the thing. As you look into these matters, you're not left with the impression that George Floyd was a guy who was trying to do everything right to the best of his ability, and try to make it out the hood. And that's just my take on it. Absolutely, it was wrong, how he, was killed. And I'm glad that, the officers had at least been arrested and charged. Because regardless if you have a criminal history or not, it does not excuse, in my opinion, being over-sentenced, police brutality, and, the likes of those issues. Because people claim, hey, we need to go by a case-by-case basis. Okay, so a criminal history in the entirety of it all doesn't necessarily, paint George Floyd as, some American hero. And that's just my honest opinion. So nothing against him, nothing against his family. We all got our lives to live. And I'm always happy to debate or be wrong. I'm actually open to being wrong. I look forward to being wrong sometimes, because my prediction rate has been astronomical for years now. And some things I wish I wasn't right about. So I looked at a mural with George Floyd, and I thought it was really weird. How this is posted on my Twitter, but it said ghetto. It put the word ghetto at the bottom of the mural, and then it had a halo around George Floyd saying "forever breathing in our hearts" or whatever. So it leaves one who open to interpret said mural to basically mean, oh, the ghetto will always be in our hearts forever. Okay, how does that increase the likelihood of people in the black community, specifically African descendant of slaves? How does that increase the likelihood to where they could make it out of the hood, go into the middle class, even, dare I say, the elite class? It doesn't. So it blows my mind away. We see this disproportional amount of coverage, but then when it came to David Dorn, There was no mainstream media coverage. There was no national protests. There was no global community congratulating them, saying, you know what, you went out, man, David Dorn, but you was trying to defend the livelihoods, and you were trying to defend the American family's ability to prosper. None of that happened. So it seems as though outside forces are trying to attach the social construct of criminality in and of itself to the black community as a whole, as a generalization. Because if there was a consistency, and this is my opinion, David Dorn would have got a good amount of coverage for dying to try to fend off these rioters and these looters. Dying trying to defend the American dream. Dying trying to defend the ability to be able to prosper. Have your own business and not have it burnt down. So this is where we're at. I'm still very much against Antifa. A lot of people, you know, on social media, Black YouTube, whatever you want to call it, a lot of people aren't necessarily fans of Black Lives Matter, specifically black men, because they did extensive research or they checked it out. And, you know, this is just Black YouTube, for example, and we noticed that there seemed to be a cancel culturing of black men. They talked about the women and the children and the different genders and all that, but they didn't really stand up for the injustices against good black men. So black men in general, the community, the YouTube community, you know, they're like, wait, hold on. We see what's going down. So ultimately, I mean, this video is too long, but ultimately, I disagree with attaching the notion of criminality to the black community, because everybody knows it lessens the likelihood of having peace and prosperity towards a certain demographic. And I disagree with the mainstream media not giving the same amount of coverage and empathy, or pretend empathy towards David Dorn. There is no consistency. Where is the consistency? So that's pretty much it. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good day, and life goes on. Take care.